All right, how is it going, my magnificent sons of bitches? Once again, going live on three platforms here, as I'm on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Um, yeah, I figured I would go ahead and drop another video about the January 6th shit, as the left seem to think that, continuing these ridiculous fucking hashtags and stuff seem to be working on Twitter, and that this somehow correlates to the rest of you out there in reality, which, mind you, that reality is growing smaller and smaller as it pertains to the big tech, industry right now, as more people are getting banned, more people are getting suspended for 30, 20, 90 days or whatever the hell. And yeah, unfortunately, I can't see the comments on Twitter or Facebook. So if anybody drops a comment, that's why I'm not responding to them. It's because you can't see the comments on Twitter or Facebook. I can see them from YouTube though. However, do another one of these videos on how the left is kind of feeling right now, and it's kind of been the kind of mood that I've kind of been into because there really hasn't been a lot, to get excited about here recently. Not for a while, but yeah, I've been following on Twitter right now, and it's pretty much kind of taken a toll on me. The excitement, the luster for Twitter for me has watered down a little bit, as I suspected that Twitter would be a great place for YouTubers right now that used to do the more drama, latent stuff, the works, and to get reactions and shit. That Twitter would be Dodge City for anybody that's a YouTuber, right? That's used to doing this sensationalized bullshit that we've done in the past to go ahead and get some cheap clicks and cheap. It's kind of played out on YouTube, but like Twitter's kind of a new frontier. To me personally, Twitter is like a more handicapped version of Facebook back from 2008. Not a lot of originality. A lot of the memes are kind of generic and just taken from shit that we were doing back in 2008, 2009, 2010, 2013. Well, I won't say 2008. Really, the, culture war really didn't pop off till about 2012, 2013. But, and that's whenever the media really started to become more and more fake. So, I got some bullet points here I want to go over as well. But whenever you look at the Twitter, like I've noticed, because I'm one of the guys that likes to look at the algorithms, I like to crunch the numbers. I like to sit there and kind of gauge in the direction where society, whether I agree fully or not, where the society's going, just like the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial. And personally, I'm not a big fan of, these ridiculous, you know, current affairs or inside edition stories that they always put out there with the TMZ shit. I'm not a big fan. I think it's kind of cringy. However, that gets a more organic reaction than the January the 6th shit, which by all means, the fucking State Department definitely wants you invested in January the 6th. They want to have the same kind of outrage as they have with every other little fucking publicity stunt that they pull. The thing is that they've hit the dummy button so much, particularly with these psychological operations, that they're kind of losing their effectiveness, and more people are less likely to buy into them once you've repeatedly and routinely lied to them. So, you have one story that's being built up, and you would think that somebody that works in these fields would have some sort of formal education. You know what I'm saying? That it's not just dumbed down basic fucking drama. The deal is that any number of the YWC guys, no matter what you think of them, no matter how low hanging they are here in the YWC, could probably do any, one of these, media journalist jobs and probably do it more effective, than they can. But they're making six figures, in some cases 7 or 8 figures, to where you're out here doing this shit for free. But yeah, the you can tell right now that the confidence in the mainstream media, and they're having a hard time dealing with it. Because personally myself, I think that there's going to be no other choice but to have a Nuremberg. I think that we are on the we're on the precipice of having another Nuremberg trial, and you can tell right now that the left wing is just basically collapsing. They're all desperate. This is what happens whenever you get psyop after psyop after psyop. They're trying to justify their position. They're trying to actually synthetically create a position. That's why fucking Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi and none of the rest of the fucking left, they don't give a shit about their voter base at all anyways. That's just regardless. The Democrats don't care. They only care as long as you're, showing up to vote. They'll give you a pat on the back. They'll give you a data boy, and that's about it. Other than that, they don't give a shit about these. How is fucking Roe v. Wade making money for fucking Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi? It isn't unless it's scrapped and they can go ahead and use that as a wedge issue to run on in 2022. So they don't care about saving Roe v. Wade. They would much rather have Roe v. Wade be overturned so they could go ahead and fight for the cause again. Not to mention that the left have probably killed every fucking argument that could possibly be made for abortions, with the mandates and these vaccination IDs. They've killed off any kind of credibility or argument that they had. They're really good about killing off their own credibility. They really are, and that's where we're at right now. Whether it's on Twitter, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on Facebook, that's basically what you're looking at right now. Is the mainstream media has killed off every ounce of their credibility, to the general public, to the public at large, because dear Democrats, that 30%, that's probably even lower, it's probably more like 25 to 20% now, but that will give you the 30% is not enough to go ahead and carry your networks and to go ahead and carry any kind of real influence and clout across the country. You see, you need, just like the Republicans have already come to understand, it doesn't matter if they have less percentages of registered voters than the Democrats do. That's totally fucking irrelevant. What matters is how well you, accommodate that larger portion of, the independent base. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. So, the Democrats alienate everybody. They just draw that line in the sand, says there's no way in hell we're going to go ahead and come across this line. We believe everybody isn't left enough, which isn't appealing to anybody in the fucking middle. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody's going to sit there and go along with you in your little fucking communist bullshit. It just doesn't make any sense. So, I got some stuff here. I got some bullet points I've wrote down that I wanted to go ahead and discuss. This is basically the Democrats. This is the platform. Why would anybody in the middle, right? Let's just pretend for a moment, and I know it's kind of hard, that there's no Hegelian dialect and that there isn't fucking some 39% of people that are in the fucking middle between the Republicans and the Democrats that are trying to look for the best candidate. Whenever you're, producing this low-hanging fruit that you have right now in the party, such as Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez or Ilhan Omar or Rashida Tlaib or, Eric Swalwell, which, I mean, look at your fucking Twitter, post and stuff like that and see how fucking stupid you are. And, it's not going to appeal to anybody that's, a centrist. You know what I'm saying? That's in the center. You can go ahead and label us right all you want to. You can go ahead and sit there and call us MAGA group, all this other fucking shit. However, it's not going to convince me. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And so it's not going to, make me want to go ahead and jump on board and vote for your fucking party. But this is your fucking platform left. So whenever you look at the left, and I even whenever Texas was fucking Democrat, this has been true. Like, look at I-35. It took fucking forever for I-35 to get finished. And that's the deal with Democrats, is they'll start these projects with no intentions of ever finishing the goddamn project. That like they still have worker crews on it. I think it took like some 36 or 37 years just to get I-35 going into fucking Dallas Fort Worth finished. I don't even know when they stopped construction and finally got it finished. But I remember that it was under construction from the time I left Fort Worth, which was about 6 or 7. They were starting the construction until I was well into my fucking 30s. So I mean, yeah, and this is the problem with Democrats is that, regardless of what you want to go ahead and say about the Republicans and their fucking military industrial complex, where they go ahead and give their buddies all this fucking money and get kickbacks, Democrats do the same thing with various contractors. And it's it's this is why you get fucking inflation and stuff, which I'll go into a little bit more. Um and this number two is that they allot money to these fucking contractors, to their buddy contractors, and they, put out cheap work. This is Democrat 101. This is exactly what happened in fucking New Orleans before Hurricane Katrina. Is they give this money to all these contractors. The contractors will contract, like the Army Corps of Engineers, give you some sort of makeshift bullshit job. This is why California fucking is constantly on fire and shit, and it stays on fire for months. I mean, it just shows you. But they invest all this money and then they get all this money back in kickbacks. There's no fucking incentive for them to fix your infrastructure if you're just going to keep allowing them to go ahead and increase taxes and to pay these fucking contractors a lifelong contract and to get all this kickback money each year for investing money into these contractors. It just, they just find out ways to fail and not to be good at their job. I mean, it's like you really have to try hard to suck at your job. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, there yet again, this is what happens is that they go ahead and create all these government jobs and shit because, I've had a discussion on Twitter here recently with somebody I don't understand. And they're like, oh, we need more people. The government needs to control it. The private having the private industry do this shit. It's not rational. It's not logical when the government, and there's your fucking mistake, is when the government pays fucking contractors. Yeah. Why are you having the government take on the responsibility in the first place? They wouldn't have to pay fucking contractors. But let's go ahead and say they even bring it in house. Well, there you go. What ends up driving up this inflation? What keeps inflating this fucking the fucking budgets for the government is these fucking pensions on these government jobs because they've created so many of them that, yeah, okay, the job pays about $40,000 to $50,000 a year, but that person works 20 years, retires with its fucking full pension, and so they're still getting paid, and you got to hire somebody else, so that $50,000 a year job just became a $100,000 a year job. And let's say the other guy, lives another 20 years, and then this guy works 20 years. Now he's drawing pension, so that $100,000 job just became $150,000. So the $50,000 a year job is now $150,000. Because of all the fucking government pensions. And so, of course, that budget inflates. This is why, it would be good to trim to a degree on the left side, to trim down some of the law enforcement, some of the, the necessity of it. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to totally abolish it, but to go ahead and trim down the law enforcement. You'd probably be better off getting rid of the public school system and let it be run at a state level. You know what I'm saying? So you're not getting all these outrageous pensions. You may get some more 401ks, some alternatives. But yeah, these fucking pensions that inflate these fucking budgets where we got to pay these people all of this fucking money, and we can see that the quality is going down. The quality is going down in education to where they're fucking grooming kids now. Yeah. So let me see. So they use like legislation for like their own fucking purposes. They always pass legislation to benefit them, and they already know how to fucking bypass the legislation or break the fucking law before they pass it. So any kind of like legislation that they're going to pass is going to be for you. It's not going to be for them. They're not going to fucking, and not to only mention, this is the issue with having a centralized federal government. This is why we need to go ahead and remove sovereignty from the State Department. You know what I'm saying? From DC altogether. And we need to go ahead and localize the governments, give more sovereignty back to the states and less power to DC, is because they give themselves diplomatic immunity. So they write the laws that they're never going to fucking honor themselves. They're not going to fucking honor these laws. They're not going to be held accountable. And even if you do catch them in the act, you know, they're not going to hold themselves accountable. They're never going to hold themselves accountable. And this is why you get the kangaroo courts. This is why you get the bullshit theatrics in DC, where they're trying to make all these cases, because they'll spend more time, you know, investing in a psychological operation trying to stage something to fool the masses than they will on passing honest legislation that'll benefit anybody else. That's just how they operate. Um, of course, we know that they have no problems starting wars. Like, you know, they're trying to get into a war right now with Russia. They want to get into war with Russia. Why? Because they're corrupt. Because the party that's currently in power is absolutely fucking corrupt. And since they can't really justify their positions or even obtaining their positions in any way, shape, or form, neither can the politicians nor the fucking voters can justify having this power that they have. They have to go out there and say, well, we need to go ahead and start a war. You know, this isn't just primarily to the Democrats. The Republicans kind of do the same thing. But at least the Republicans usually try to have some sort of justification before they go into a war, not just sitting there saying, oh, well, everything that I did is their fault. Because, I mean, they've been blaming us for fucking years for their failures, meaning anybody who's not a fucking Democrat, they've been blaming us for their failures. You know, they've been doing all this projection bullshit. Now they're trying to project it onto Russia. It's anybody else's fault except for the fucking Democrats. So, yeah. Create debt, you know, they create fucking debt with all their fucking stimulus money. And then, you know, it's stupid because you can't explain economics to a leftist. It's impossible. They just don't have the capacity to understand fucking economics. So you listen to some little shill here and they'll tell you, oh, well, it's because of the tax. No, it has nothing to do with taxes. Fucking lowering taxes doesn't create inflation. How the fuck does lowering taxes create inflation? The government spending, you could probably go ahead and use that. However, whenever you print out all this fucking stimulus money to pay for everything, like a goddamn fucking credit card, then yeah, you're fucking going to have inflation. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if taxes are low or high. And as I've already tried to explain the Laffer curve, but they're never going to fucking admit the truth. There's no intellectual honesty in the fucking leftist voter whatsoever. They'll just believe any kind of fucking bullshit that they're told. And they'll get some sort of fucking peer-reviewed bullshit from some make-believe pretendo university, and then they try to go out there and sit on this stupid rhetoric that they're reading, and they know it doesn't make any fucking intellectual sense, but they'll go ahead and stand by that goddamn lie because they're leftist. You know what I'm saying? It has nothing else to do. It's a Hegelian bullshit that they're fucking their mindsets incorporated to. So I mean, yeah, you know, lowering taxes actually keeps inflation down, because when more money is going into the economy and it's generated into the economy and more people are keeping more of their money and they're, you know, it makes the dollar more valuable. The dollar is more valuable with less whenever people are able to keep more of their money. The dollar has more value. Whenever you raise that taxes and the dollar goes into the government, the dollar becomes less valuable. Because when the government holds on to it, it becomes stagnant. They go ahead and pay themselves in kickbacks and all kinds of other bullshit, which, like I said, whenever you look at this, they're overpaid anyways. And I mean, you look at this current administration and how it's pretty much like a fucking placebo anyways. They can't get shit done anyways. So I mean, you know, what are they really doing at this point in time? I mean, most of your legislation is purely fucking rhetoric. That's all it is. It's pure fucking rhetoric. And it doesn't make any sense. It's not rational. It's not pragmatic at any level. And like I said, the government, you can't give us any rights. The fucking government can't give you a right, but they can sure as fuck take it away. So I mean, this is just what this fucking party, this is what the system by doing less. And the Republicans, and this is what you always hear, they just don't do enough. We need common sense gun reforms. We need mandates. They're blocking bills for COVID testing, and this is the shit that they'll use as fucking arguments. If the government didn't do fucking shit, the United States would run a lot smoother. If they just fucking stayed the fuck out of the way, stop taking all these fucking taxes out of our checks, that dollar is going to be more effective. People are going to be more incentivized to go out there, create products, create businesses, create wealth, create jobs, start to work together. Whenever the government has that money, not so much. There's no incentive for them to give you a quality life. You know what I'm saying? But they'll damn sure go ahead and take more and more of the fucking economy. They just want power. That's what it is right now. That's the issue with the government system as a whole. So I mean, they're the left are befoozled into fucking accepting taxes. Oh, we need higher taxes. If how's it going? Super intent Rollins. How's it going, man? But yeah, whenever you're looking at it, they've bamboozled the fucking left into thinking that taxes are a good thing, and they're not. Taxes are fucking actually counter counter fucking stimulating. They actually stimulate the economy. The stimulus doesn't stimulate the economy whatsoever. It just causes inflation, and this is exactly where the fuck we're at. And if I didn't have an account terminated, I would have had a fucking many of fucking videos. But you can go to my BitChute and look it up. Whenever 2018 come around, I said that this shit was going to happen. But yeah, this has just been proof. It's just been a proven thing. But they'll sit there and try to use, and this shows you how fucking Trump has mind fucked everybody on the left. Like absolutely, because they'll come back and they'll sit there and say MAGA shit, and, oh, Trump. You're still talking about Trump. You're still talking about Trump. Everybody else has moved on to gas prices and inflation. And to be honest with you, I have no fucking intentions of voting for Trump in 2024. None whatsoever. I don't see the fucking point in voting for probably if fucking Trump wins, I'm probably not even going to vote in 2024. Because Trump's for the fucking red flag laws too. You know what I'm saying? Trump was for the stimulus shit too that he ended up signing off on. It was Trump that did the fucking mandates. It was Trump that did the lockdowns technically. Now, granted, the lockdowns were more at the fault of the Democrats because, as we all know, the economy, Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution clearly states it's the responsibility of the Congress, so you can't really just put that down on the fucking Trump on that one. But I can sure as fuck put the mandates on his ass, and he was pushing for red flag laws. So why would I go ahead and vote for Donald Trump? That just doesn't make it just doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever. However, it's always Trump. So that's always the only fucking thing that the left can sit there and talk about. Oh, it's MAGA. Go watch Fox News. Nobody watches Fox News, particularly anybody that's on the fucking internet. That's not on Twitter. That's not a goddamn shill. Nobody outside really watches any mainstream media. And I'm just being real. Nobody's watching the shit because you're saying stupid shit. You're saying, now what is it now? They're talking about, this is the fucking big shit that they're going to try and pull. Lauren Boebert was a escort. And this is the shit that only the fucking idiots can make up because, Lord knows we need to pay these fucking idiots in mainstream media 6-figure, 7-figure salaries to make this shit up because nobody else could make this shit up. It'd be impossible for anybody to make up this shit right here. But supposedly Lauren Boebert, right? She was an escort, a prostitute or something, getting paid, or she wasn't licensed, so I don't know how you're going to exactly fucking prove that she was a fucking prostitute. However, it's some fucking idiot named David B. Wheeler, which only has 47 followers on Twitter, which is about status quo for any goddamn leftist. It doesn't matter. Those are probably legitimate followers. Now, actually, probably not. About 30 of them are his own stock accounts. or no, David Willer has 1,700, but a little fucking media company, American, what is it called? Raker, whatever the fuck, Muckraker. Uh, that has 47. So I mean, it's not like it's this big fucking shit, but the cringy left are trying to make this a big deal. So Lauren Boebert was an escort supposedly and a prostitute and got pregnant twice supposedly because she was a prostitute. I don't know why she wouldn't wear protection, but it is what it is. And supposedly Ted Cruz propositioned her, and they had sex. And I guess I don't know because I didn't read the whole thing because it was fucking stupid. It was absolutely fucking just it was just fucking it was fucking just as far as low as you could possibly go in society. This is where we're at with the left. And so Ted Cruz got her pregnant. I guess took her to go get an abortion because she was gonna have it. This is fucking stupid. Who writes this shit for you? Media Matters. Oh my god, I don't know who it is. I honestly don't, but it's fucking stupid. And the sad thing is that you know the left thinks you're really this fucking stupid. The left doesn't think that you can think for yourself and say, hey, you know what? This is probably a bunch of fucking horseshit. Not like they have any kind of credibility. Right now, at this point in fucking time, the left needs somebody to co-sign for them. They need somebody to go ahead and bring them on to go ahead and talk. That's why fucking what's that chick's named Anna Kasparian wants to get on Joe Rogan so she can get a little bit of legitimacy. Nobody's watching Ferret Cousins or fucking Rain the Fire or David Pacman or what's the other fucking goose name, Sam Cedar. Nobody cares. Fucking bland ass Emma fucking Vineyard and shit. Nobody's watching their shit. Nobody's watching Cenk Uygur mumble his fucking sentences. Oh, the enemy got to reply to the Lord. Blah, blah, blah. Nobody watches shit. You know, nobody's watching it. I need a buffer. I need hard bastard or, soft gentleman as a buffer to watch their shit. I need actual justice warrior to go over their fucking category and then, go over their videos and break it down for me to even invest into it because it's too stupid. You're trying to go ahead and you've already won the stupid voters. Let's be real, you've already won the dumbed down fucking Democrats. You've already won them. It's everybody that's not a fucking left that you have to somehow channel, and the Democrats don't have that capacity to do that shit. At least in the media aspect of it, there are some good Democrats out there that understand this, like Tulsi Gabbard or Joe Manchin or Kristen Sinema. There's some good Democrats out there that understand that, hey, yeah, we have to be a bit more applicable than the fucking leftists that we have right now. These motherfuckers are just cringe artists who probably, in most cases, have hijacked a certain district or not and offer no fucking real competition to them. So, that all they do is create fake news fucking stories. That's another fucking thing, is that's all they can fucking do is create placebos and shit and then have a position on the placebos. Their whole goddamn platform for 2022 is nothing but an utter, complete fucking placebo. And people can sit there and call me a conspiracy theorist. People can call me a tinfoil hat wearing conspiracy theorist for saying that these mass shootings are suspect as fuck, and to sit there and question them, and to sit there and say, no, I don't believe them. No, I'm not going to sit there and invest into your fucking hashtag gun control, gun ban now. And like I said, it's marginalized. It's only on Twitter. Your fucking traffic on Twitter isn't even that much. The fucking algorithms on Twitter have went down drastically. I know the views on YouTube have went down drastically. I know this for a fact from other fucking content creators. I can go back into their history and their work, their history, and I could tell that the fucking viewers for fucking YouTubers that I've been following for years have went down. And it isn't because of the quality necessarily, but whenever a large portion of your fucking audience don't watch YouTube anymore because of the terms and conditionings, everything's being marginalized to lower the bar for the fucking people in Silicon Valley because their favorite YouTubers can't compete on a even playing field. So they have to go ahead and throw penalty flag. I need to terminate your channel because you question the integrity of your action. I told my ex that it was stage the shooting, she said she went crazy on me quoting the media. Yeah, and that's it. They quote the same fucking narratives. They sound like a fucking robot. And it's like you've heard that on TV. You know what I'm saying? And that's always, and it's always like, well, you got to tell that, you can't tell that person. Well, then bring them on. Let me tell them, because there's already been like 2 or 3 incidents where somebody was supposed to bring me one of these, and I said, okay, yeah, sure. I'll have them on my show. I'll question them. I'll go and give them the benefit of the doubt that this whole fucking shit is real. I'll go ahead and be as professional, as courteous as I can. But whenever we start asking the questions about these incidents, whenever people in the fucking audience, whenever people like Seth Rollins here ask questions about what's going on and the discrepancies in these fucking stories, well, if they don't have any answers, we're gonna want you to have some answers, particularly if you're there. You know what I'm saying? And they don't want to be held their feet to that fire. In reality, they can do some sort of kangaroo court show trial shit, but I'm sure don't want to come out and be challenged by everyday Americans on the legitimacy of this. And so, whenever these things happen at the clip that they do in the records, and whenever they happen in, bad things happen in threes, no, fucking, it's not a fucking coincidence. There's an agenda behind it. There's an agenda. Everybody knows that you're trying to get the small arms portion of the Trans-Pacific Partnership, because once they get the small arms fucking portion of the Trans-Pacific Partnership out of the way, then everything else will just kind of snowball. You know what I'm saying? They'll just go ahead and give over complete fucking sovereignty to these fucking corporations, and that's ultimately what the Trans-Pacific Partnership was all about. So, I mean, it's about trying to global ass the whole damn world. So, yeah, the whole thing is a bunch of fucking bullshit. Like I said, this is one of the reasons why this is why YouTube, like I said, your fucking algorithm, everything is going down. Even the views, the views on the mainstream media shit, like maybe the movies will have high, like if you go and look up John Wick and you see the views on John Wick, well, of course, people are going to rent John Wick or something like that. So there's going to be a market out there for that. So there's going to be like 2 or 3 million views, which isn't incredibly a lot anymore. You know what I'm saying? But it's going to be a lot. It's going to seem like a lot for this platform. Whenever you're looking at like PewDiePie or any of these other ones, that have gathered this audience. You look at a guy like Alex Jones, and people know who Alex Jones is. I go down, I sit there, and I mention somebody, just a random person. Hey, yeah, Alex Jones said something, and they'll say something that, oh yeah, I know Alex Jones. Oh yeah, fuck you, government, or something like that. They'll know something. They'll have a memory of Alex Jones, whether it's fond or whether it's not so fond. But the Young Turks, this is the fucking direction that YouTube's trying to go into anyways. Nobody, you have to go down a little bit before you know anybody or meet anybody who even knows who the fuck the Young Turks are. Um, you know, and so it's the same thing. David Pac-Man, even less. And really, even to a degree, like Steven Crowder isn't even on that level. Steven Crowder isn't even on the Alex Jones level. Neither is Ben Shapiro. They're kind of like the new age of YouTube, the direction that YouTube would like to go. But it's certainly, we could see that the traffic on these sites, whether it's, like I said, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, has went down. Irvin, go to sleep. Fix the room. But yeah, you see the traffic is going down. It's going down on Twitter as well. You'll have them trying to tweet out the January 6th shit, and it only gets about like 5,000 views. Fucking the libs of TikTok will be fucking, they'll fucking be threatened. They'll have death threats on them or something, and they'll get 15,000 views. You see what I'm saying? You failed as a propagandist. So I mean, ultimately, when you're looking at 2022, the Democrats are fucking, they're desperate anyways. They've been desperate, but I think that certainly an impeachment will probably happen of Joe Biden. This is the second goddamn impeachment of Donald Trump. People are already past it, and so that's That's kind of where we're at right now. Like there is no fucking left right now. There's no mainstream media. Y'all people are not trending. Nobody is talking about the Buffalo shit at work whenever I go to work. Nobody's talking about Uvalde like they were Sandy Hook just fucking years ago. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't have the effect. You've hit the dummy button way too fucking much. And nobody's talking about January the 6th, especially because everybody thinks that that's cringy. Everybody's just making fun of you. So like the Twitter trends are dead. The these psychological operations are having less and less effect on society as a whole. And it's going to be very interesting because personally myself, I think that it's almost an inescapable situation. We're getting closer towards an inescapable situation of probably having a military tribunals. I mean, we've tried the impeachment routes. You know what I'm saying? We've tried the changing out, of the guards, of putting in the brand new Trump that was more like a Clinton-esque type of actual president. We've tried to go ahead and, you know, um, effectively we've probably utilized every fucking resource we could to try to keep from going this direction. But the left isn't leaving us any choice. You know what I'm saying? Even as marginalized as they are, and that DC looks like a demilitarized zone right now. Even as marginalized as they are, they're not going to relinquish any kind of fucking power. The State Department, DC isn't going to drain itself. You've got kangaroo courts, and that's about it. They're going to continue these charades. So I think that it's getting to be pretty fucking close to time to have military tribunals, which is like another Nuremberg. And I don't think that there's any other fucking anything else we could ultimately do at this fucking point. Doesn't matter if you vote Republican. Doesn't matter if you vote Democrat. Those parties are, not gonna. We've already tried this. We've already tried to change out the parties. This is an option that we went through the process, regardless of what a high impact Flix or anybody else will sit there and tell you. You still have to go through the process. It doesn't matter if they're two sides, two wings of the same fucking bird. It doesn't matter. That's all. You have to go through the whole fucking process before you can go ahead and take these actions to the next stage, which is the most drastic would be military tribunals. I don't think that it's going to be a civil war. I know that the left would like you to believe that they're equally as strong as the Republicans. They just have different. No, you're not. You're not on the same playing field as the non-leftists. I don't even want to say it's the Republicans or the right. You're not on the same playing field. You're not. Just because you have mainstream media platforms doesn't mean that people respect you and that would be willing to go ahead and join you in your efforts to go ahead and get rid of American sovereignty and American rights. So yeah, and with those platforms yeah, with those platforms, and I don't know what y'all are fighting about, to be honest with you, anti-Seth Trollins and super intent Trollins. Yeah, they're going back and forth. But like I said, it's just yeah, they're just it's at this point we're even past the possibility of even having a civil war. I think that it's going to be like a Nuremberg type thing. And yes, the media is an extension of the goddamn government. And yeah, they would probably have to face charges as well. So I think that you look at Twitter though, and there's like a litany of fucking stuff that could be used in that kind of case. I do think that ultimately the State Department, this would be the only other fucking alternative that I could think of where it would keep them from, it would at least extend them for a little while. But that would be if the fucking Republicans won the House and the Senate. To be honest with you, I don't even know why the Republicans would want to win. I honestly don't. Because the economy is going to tank. It's going to collapse. Let the fucking Democrats destroy the shit. You know what I'm saying? Let them fucking go ahead. Give them another fucking 4 years. Let them kill off the fucking economy. And then you could just go ahead and hold your hands up and say, hey, my hands are clean in this. It was the Democrats, and you could probably walk away with any kind of deniable plausibility because you didn't have any really any kind of power. So I don't even know why the Republicans would want to win in 2022. To be honest with you, if I was a Republican candidate, I'd be like, I don't know if I want to win. The economy's tanking. We have all this stimulus. The Biden stimulus, really, you haven't seen the Biden stimulus. This is all from Obama. But when that stimulus hits, it's going to really do a number. And do you really want to be holding that bag as a fucking Congress whenever that hits? So I mean, it is what it is. And so I honestly, like I said, I do think that a Nuremberg type trial is going to be, I think it's going to be necessary, and I think that ultimately that's they may do the Joe Biden thing, they may do the Joe Biden impeachment, they may remove Joe Biden and Kamala. That would probably help stave it off a little bit. The media could use it to get some sort of fucking audience back because they've lost all their audience. Like nobody was watching the January 6th shit. Oh yeah, we got 19 million viewers. So that was a big market. 19 million's a whole lot. Out of 12 fucking networks, that's like your regular fucking viewers. Y'all are just taking your networks, putting in the same bullshit, like you always do anyways, and then you're presenting it. See, that tells you right now that these motherfuckers are not intellectually honest, because they would sit there and say, oh, well, MSNBC sees a rating boost in their ratings or something by 15%, let's say, because of the January 6th shit. No, you had to pull all your fucking channels together that were covering these stupid fucking committees that nobody cared about. You had to pull that audience together and say, oh, it's this big number right here, whenever it's the same dipshits that watch your fucking cringy ass shit anyways. So it's like, yeah, people look at the shit. People like the left doesn't really do very well on the internet. They really don't. They don't do very well on the internet at all because people are just going to continuously call out their bullshit. So, yeah, I figured I'd do this video, do it for YouTube, do it for Twitter, and do it for Facebook. So, anyways, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. You people tell me what you think. You like, sub, do the shit Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube tell me to do to get over. And for now, I'm out.